Hello students, I'm Dr. Abhishek Tyagi. Today I'm going to conduct an orientation of political science for UPSC, that how this subject is taking its confidence in the mains examination and what are the exact purviews of this subject. So you might be curious about the subject, that what exactly political science and international relations is all about for the mains. See, political science and international relation is a combination of many of the activities, many of the subject themes, many of the applications, many of the static portions, and many of the I must mention many of the dynamic orientations it carries. So we cannot take political science as merely the optional of the UPSC, but it is the best optional, I must say. Why so? Because those students who plan to take political sciences always carries a progressive image of this subject in their minds. Let's take a review. Let's take a point that what is the significance of political science in UPSC examination. Significance of political science. What different this subject carries for the students of UPSC? What is so special about this subject? And definitely for this purpose only, the students are increasingly opting this subject of political science and international relations. So first of all, this subject, political science, overlap with general studies. I must focus again to say this, that this subject overlap with the general studies. Okay. First point is that political science overlap with general studies. Now, we must think it from a different scenario or from a different mindset. How it definitely contributes to general studies. We have we have the paper 2 in general studies, which carries polity and governance. And in the same manner, we have the portions in political science, I must say in paper 1, section 2, that is Indian government and politics, polity portion. And it carries like constitutional frameworks, some of the applied concerns of federalism prevailing in India, and some other political issues governing and the changing dynamics of the Indian politics. So that is covered in the political science. So once we are going to study this, so definitely we are going to study at the same time the GS as well. So we must say that topics like federalism, constitutional framework, and there are many other dominating. There are many other. When I say dominating, that means the weightage of those topics are common in both general studies and the political science. So we must be very careful about this. That definitely this creates a difference in the political science as a subject for UPSC optional. So I must say that there is one more topic, that is party system. So all this carries a weightage in the GS. Got the point? And and the thing is that most of the cases, in most of the situations, whenever the candidates are going to give the examination, candidates are going to give prepare themselves, they find it so easy to prepare with regard to political science, that they definitely see political science as they are preparing for general studies. So that is the beauty of this subject. So we must understand this in totality. The second point, definitely, I must say that this subject, under even the that it overlaps with GS, so that means it integrates the preparation of both GS and political science. Integrates preparation for GS and political science. Definitely, if we are studying the topics like, if we are the studying the topics like polity, if we are the studying the topics like if we are studying the topics like international relations, we are the studying the topics like Indian foreign policy, if we are studying the topics like Indian foreign policy, so definitely it contributes a lot. Indian foreign, and there is a lot more. In recent days, you can see that political science is increasingly focusing its study over the new upcoming research topics like India's involvement in West Asia, India's involvement with regard to US perspectives, India's involvement with regard to what should be the India's stand in given the situations of Iran and Israel war. So definitely these topics demands uh, careful analysis, careful study that can only be given in the periphery of political science. So we must understand this, that given the changing changing perspectives, definitely political science is contributing a lot in international relations dilemma. As I just said that the topics that can be West Asia, and as well as the topics like I just said, that India's growing engagement with United States of America, and given the complexities of Iran Israel tussle. Even in this, from this context, there was a question in political science that given the Iran-Israel tussles, what should be the stand of India over the issue of Palestine? Yes, what was the question? That what should be the stand of India over Palestine issue? Given the Iran-Israel tussle. This is really going to make a big difference if you are really understanding the topics, if you are really understanding the PSIR, political science and international relations, with regard to the international changes, with regard to the even if you are thinking it from the point of view that yes, definitely I am adopting to the upcoming challenges, I'm studying deeply what are the changes. So definitely this will complement and this will give you confidence in the GS papers. I assure you, I have seen many of the candidates who are preparing for UPSC mains, because result is out for pre, and definitely we have we have the next very strong target for practicing our political science. Even I kept on emphasizing each in my class that definitely if PSIR is done, then your 60% GS is done. What? Just keep this in mind that if political science is done, then your general studies is done at between 65%, I must say. This is the accurate ratio, accurate feedback I keep on receiving from my students, just because that they are getting the questions in GS. Not even the questions. See, definitely, no one knows about UPSC that what they are going to ask. We have seen this year as well in the preliminary examination of 2026 that it was very unpredictable, and the same we always expect in the mains. But in the mains examination, the paper is subjective. What? The paper is subjective. You need to write, and definitely the PSIR gives you a depth analysis. What? A depth analysis about the system. What? About the system. Both what is happening in India and both what is happening in international arena. So definitely this kind of purview taken by political science subject will surely give you an insights to know about the system, to know about the categories involved in our studies. Okay, and definitely I must mention that this is one of the dynamic and progressive subjects even I have ever seen in the preparation of UPSC. So those who are opting for the political sciences, this is the good time for them. Okay, now to know about the political sciences, that how it covers the things definitely is a case in point. We must understand this. Like this is ultimately static. Political science is static and both dynamic. No, if I say static and if I say dynamic, so what static comes in our mind? So those portions, like if I say in political science and if I say in general studies. So in general studies, let's take an example: history, geography, and any of the past like constitutional frameworks. So they are the static portions. They will remain static. There will be no changes, and there is a possibility that most of the questions will be asked from the static patterns. What is there? What happened? What were the laws? This will be the static portion. In political sciences, we have some static portions like we have paper 1. This is very static portion. And what is so static about the paper 1 is definitely section A, that is political theory and thought, obviously, and the constitutional framework. This is completely static portion. So you can analyze this from the point of view of mains examination. So we must keep this in mind, that what is so special about political science? It is both static and dynamic. When I say dynamic, it contributes to the general studies mains as well. Okay, and if I say dynamic, so just focus here that what is so progressive about political science. So definitely, if I say, but that the whole paper 2 The whole paper 2 is dynamic, like it is progressive. Most of the questions are there, that what is exactly happening in the different parts of the world, how the various systems are doing the things, how the various party systems in each country. Like if I say in United States of America, what is the political system of United States of America and what is the system of India. And specifically if I'm coming on the dynamic portion, so that is the section B. That is the section B, and that is India and the world. Okay. See, this is very very important. This is very very important. You must understand this. What is so dynamic about India and the world? India and the world. This portion of section B carries a lot of researched, lot of changing dynamic dimensions. What? The changing dimensions with regard to India's involvement in the external world. India to external world. Okay, I hope you are slowly understanding that what exactly it was, what exactly the subject deals with. The India and the world portion carries many of the significant topics, like we have Indian foreign policy. We are definitely going to have a discussion over these dynamic topics as well. Not an issue, but still we are having a discussion over what is the significance of political science. If a candidate is opting political science, what advantages he or she is going to get? So this is again very very important. Just focus here. So we have Indian foreign policy. We have India and South Asia. South Asia. In India and the world, again we have the topics like India and the United Nations, UNO, United Nations Organization. This is again very dynamic, and every year questions have been asked in general studies and the optional political science and international relations. I have always I have always advised my students to keep focusing upon these topics because these are dynamic, and every year you will get many of the questions, but the dimensions can be different. What the dimension can be on the current ground, that what exactly is going on in the field of United Nations. Like we are having uh, with regard to India and United Nations, we are having a biggest issue, that is permanent membership. Permanent membership. So this is again very important. Why I'm saying the permanent membership? Because India, why India is contributing to United Nations through peacekeeping forces and by abiding every of the policies and passed by the United Nations, just to get a permanent member status. Because if the permanent member status is having the veto power, what is having the veto power? What is veto? Veto What is veto? Veto is the power to prohibit any action taken by the United Nations. To prohibit. I hope you are slowly getting into touch that how this subject deals with the different situations and ultimately gives you a bigger insights of general studies. This gives bigger insights of general studies. Yes. Definitely, if you are studying international relations, if you are studying Indian political systems, if you are studying the past political thoughts, like we are having Ambedkar, we are having Gandhi, we are having Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, we are having Arvindo Ghosh. So definitely, your your grasping over the general studies will become more stronger as compared to your fellow students. So you need to keep this in your mind. So definitely this is very very important. Now, the biggest point I have seen in my students during various of my classroom programs is that the student says that their answer writing capabilities is getting improved. What? That it improves your this subject of political science and international relations improves your analytical capabilities. Okay, this improves your analytical capabilities. Now you are having a grasp over the system, you are having a grasp over the ideologies, you are having a grasp over how this subject formed the evolution of political sciences and international relations, evolution of PSIR. You're having a grasp over over what exactly going on in our Indian political system, in Indian polity. Now you are taking so much depth study from every of the newspapers, from the reference books, and obviously, if you are having a class of political sciences, definitely discussion, the outcomes of the discussion, what of the discussion. So all these things are going to give you a big insights towards the towards your analytical capabilities. Only those aspirants who are having a good analytical mindsets, good contemplation over the subjects can only lead to a good writing practice. So this leads to a good writing practice, good writing. Now, if you don't know to write in the mains, definitely there is a no point of studying any of the optional, whether it is political science and whether it is anyone else. This is the only optional where you get the depth analysis from the mindsets of an aspirants, which allows you to write much better answers for UPSC, which allows you to produce a good content, a balanced content, and a performing content. What? A balanced and performing content. So this is again very very important. Balanced and performing content. If you don't know to write, definitely there is no point of studying for the mains examination. We must keep on writing. If definitely we are having a discussion over like over the theory topic, like what were the approaches to the study of political science, then I'm just taking an example, that approaches to political sciences. So when I say the approaches, then definitely, for example, that it is political theory. So the question will be discuss the modern approaches to the study of political sciences. Definitely, there will be many other modern approaches like system analysis, structural functional analysis, and what is so scientific about this analysis? What is so what is what is so scientific about political science, about political theory? So if you are having this great deal of studying this subject from different dimensions, from different mindsets, from different orientations. At one time you are studying political theory, at one time you are studying political thought. Even in the political thought, there are two there are two portions in the political thought. I must say that in the political thought, there are two streams. One is Western and one is Indian. And this Western will, this Western, like we are having a Greek political thought in form of Plato and Aristotle. Not definitely, this will give you an insight about the evolution of this subject, evolution of politics, of political science, or politics, we can call it. So this is again very important to know that how this subject is slowly allowing you, the aspirants, to go into the basics to advanced. Now, coming on the Indian side, this will make this will make your view and analysis point from that how the political science was taken into Indian context, how political science was taken into Indian context, and the main credit for this goes to, and the main credit for this goes to, like we have Gandhi ji, we have Aurobindo Ghosh, we have Ambedkar, we have Sir Syed Ahmed Khan, and at the top we have Kautilya. At the top we have Kautilya. Okay, that is so important, that how the political science grew in India with regard to our own socio-economic environments. This is again very important. You need to understand this, and this was manifested through the Indian political thought. Kautilya, and even there were many other eminent thinkers who gave excellent theories of political science from Indian context. So we need to understand this with regard to our understanding of the political science. Political science is very dynamic. Those who know that what is political science, definitely they will definitely appreciate political science, because all these, if you are going to get the knowledge, on point knowledge, and when I say the on point knowledge, definitely this means that what is required in the mains examination, optional mains examination. So definitely, the political science subject is having its own contribution, its own sense of cultivation among the students with regard to different orientations. As I have just discussed, we are having Indian government and politics, in which we study a lot of things. Like in Indian government and politics, we study various commissions like Finance Commission, there are planning commission, there are party system, as well as, and there are many other factors. Those are those are impacting Indian politics, like we are having caste, we are religion, ethnicity. In politics, we are having a traces of social movements like civil liberties, human rights movements, and environmental movements. So we need to keep this in our mind once we are preparing, and that is the significance of political science. So we need to understand that The topics of political science are really are exam oriented topics. What? Exam oriented topics. You can see that in the recent years, the trend of the UPSC has changed. What? The trend of UPSC has changed. The changing trend. What is the changing trend in political science? I have witnessed that since the last years, we are having the questions. The more questions, the more analysis. The more questions of 150 words, the more questions of 200 words, 250 words. Okay, in one question we are having 4 questions. In one question we are having 5 questions. So this again creates a curiosity about the subject. Changing trend creates the curiosity about subject. So we need to keep this in our mind that definitely if this topic we are discussing political science, if we are discussing this subject, then we need almost to aware about the what is happening in the political science with regard to UPSC. What changes UPSC is taking? The syllabus is same. Paper 1, that is political theory and thought. Paper 2, Indian government and politics. Paper 1, section A, section B. Paper 2, section A, that is comparative politics and theory of international politics. Section B in paper 2, that is India and the world. So we need to see what is happening in these 4 sections of paper 1 and paper 2. So definitely this will allow you to explore the subject in a much better manner. And definitely if you see these changes, so you will get so much fast towards political science. I must also discuss political science with you from some different frameworks as well. Like we are having political science important for essay and interview as well. Have you ever imagined that how this subject is contributing into interview and the essay paper? Essay paper. Definitely, if you have studied the subjects like Indian political systems, what are the main issues confronted by Indian political systems? Issues of Indian political system or Indian polity. If you are going through with the social movements, what? Social movements. If you are going through with the as this is very much clearly written in the examination as well. If we are going through what are the caste factors? What are the caste factors? Caste, religion factors. Don't you think this is giving you an exactness of the of what are the issues and what are the probabilities of the essay, the topics asked in the essay? Definitely, you need not to prepare for the essay differently. You need not to prepare for essay separately. Your essay stands done. What? Your essay stands done 100%. No different preparation. What? No different preparation. Are you getting the point? So essay stands done. Many of the students I have seen, they ask me in the class that, sir, we need to prepare for essay, and whenever I'm going to start my class, in the initial orientation, they say, sir, how it will happen. And once I'm done with my whole PSI optional, I have already taught to the students. Then they say, sir, essay is no, essay is nothing difficult for us, sir, and we are done. We will not prepare for essay separately. What we are writing for PSIR in mains, definitely we are going to write in the essay portion. So that is the beauty of this subject. We need to understand the interview now, that how it complements into interview, how it contributes into interview. Definitely, if I say interview process, so it requires a lot of detailing, a lot of already going scenarios pertaining to your area, to your political systems, to the things going on in your or outside. And definitely, if you are having a political science optional, the questions will be straight away from the dynamics of this subject. So interview also do not requires a different preparation. I guarantee you that political science is a guarantee of interview. Yes, what? It's a guarantee of interview. Here also it is, I give it 100%. No extra preparation. So did you have any thought process, any thought process ever that will will there be any subject which will give you so much insight, so much clarity, so much depth knowledge that it will make and complement the other papers of UPSC like general studies and the essay, and the most of all the interview scenario. Interview, I think, is the biggest last stage of UPSC examination. The questions will be straight, the questions will be manipulative, the questions will be in depth at times, but your previous analysis of the political systems, your previous analysis of the ongoing themes of the current affairs pertaining to the political system and international relations will make your way towards interview very easy. I hope you are getting the point. Okay, and definitely my students are complimenting to me in this direction that, sir, now even many times the questions asked to us are very easy. We find it easy because we studied in so depth. The discussion went in your class towards UPSC. That was so fruitful that we answered them in a very conceptual manner. So definitely your interview stands done. No extra preparation. So we have already discussed the significance of political science from from multifaceted dimensions. From many aspects, we have discussed political science, that how well it contributes to UPSC, GS, essay, interview, as well as it leads to the analytical development of your answer writing skills, and it really nourishes your personality. So I think the political science optional is the PSIR is the best optional, I must say. So just be ready with this optional. I hope you will get the success and do come in the class. And definitely, thanks for joining the orientation. And we will continue with the discussions over PSIR in the future course of time. Thank you.